Hello everyone and welcome back to some rapid action on leeches. Yesterday we played a nice game and in the end we didn't have enough time to deliver checkmate, so unfortunately for us it was a draw by insufficient material, but also it's because our opponent persevered and defended well. So in this one I will try to play a little bit faster. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes I do spend a bit too much time explaining the positions, but yeah, I will focus on doing that on my opponent's time. So here, our opponent is never drawn, so hopefully this one does not end in a draw. So let's see what we can do. We start with d4 as we usually do, and our opponent goes for d6. So probably it's going to be some sort of a pirc, but no, he goes for g6 right away. Sort of the modern, he will play a6, knight f6, bishop to g7, and we're gonna, well, let's grab the full center. Let's grab the full center and see what comes out of it. All right, so he goes after the d4 pawn. We're gonna defend it. Let's go with knight to d2. We're gonna develop our light square bishop, castle kingside, and maybe even fianchetto our dark square bishop to counter his dark square bishop. So that seems like a reasonable way to go about it. Of course, c5. We're gonna defend the center with pawn to c3, and at some point he will capture, and he will try to exert as much pressure as possible on that d4 pawn. All right, so he goes after the e4 pawn. Since the knight here is pinned, we're gonna go bishop to d3. Yeah, seems like a reasonable way to develop. Okay, so putting more pressure on the pawn. We're just gonna castle here. Nothing really happening here, and he's gonna castle kingside most likely, but he might also play bishop to g4, yeah, to put more pressure on this pawn here. So I'm gonna play knight to b3 as it comes with tempo. It does give me another defender for my d4 pawn. He will play queen to b6 probably to put pressure on my king here, and we're gonna defend the pawn one more time with bishop to e3. And yeah, next if we defend our bishop, for example, we can even play d5 with a double attack here. So yeah, it's a pretty fine position for both of us. Okay, so he goes for this. So now the question is, do I go for h3 and allow this trade? Should be good for me. I will have the advantage of the bishop pair and also have my bishop defended, or he goes back and then we can just defend our bishop. Or we don't even have to do that. We could even play something like queen to d2, which is a pretty standard square for the queen. You have the queen and bishop on the same diagonal. You can even pressure the dark square bishop later on. So that's one way to do it. Okay, so let's play queen to d2. And yeah, we don't have to worry about captures since our pawn is defended twice here. He might try something like a5, a4, but if he does that, we're faster. So he does have to do something about the d5 pawn push. We'll see what it does. And later on, we can play rook to c1. We have to decide where the rooks go. Always e1 and d1 are great square for your rooks, but as the c file has been opened up, I don't mind. For example, yeah, okay. So he's not worried about d5. Why not? Why isn't he worried about d5? That's a very strange move. What are we missing something here? Really doesn't seem like we're missing something here. Yeah, I don't know what his plan is here. Yeah, it is possible that our opponents blunder from time to time. You know, the blunders are not exclusive to when when I'm playing. But again, okay, so queen b4. Yeah, that's okay. So he has to give up a piece, and yeah, that's nice. What do we recapture with? We can do it with the knight or with the bishop. I'm kind of thinking the bishop, since I also want to shift my bishop here. As now we're up a piece, so trading down is the way to go. Yeah, we can just put our bishop to c3, but we can also just play rook to c1. Rook to c1. Yeah. Okay, so seems to be an okay. So he wants to play c4. If I play something like bishop to c3, he might play c4. But even though it does seem like a double attack, I will be able to play bishop captures on f6. So yeah, we can also do it that way, or we can just play something like bishop to a6. Nah. Okay. How to take as much from the position as possible. Okay, let's first ask him what does he do with the light square bishop. Let's first ask him that. Okay, so he goes here, and we're gonna try and trade off the light square bishops. No, we're not. We don't want to hang the pawn here. So yeah, let's go here. No, we could ask him to trade, and we sort of double our pawns here, but it's perfectly fine. Then we gain more control over the c4 square, and we can shift our rooks over to the a file. Yeah, that also seems like a nice idea. But yeah, then he can play c4. I can capture here. Yeah, it does look a bit nasty. Yeah, let's ask him to do that. Or if he goes bishop to d7, then he no longer has access to the c4 square, and we can safely consolidate, even with bishop to c4, as the pawn is defended. But then he can kick it away with h6, so we'll still have to figure out how to go about this. But yeah, also I'm not against bishop to a6 followed by bishop to c3. Also seems like a reasonable plan, sort of not allowing his knights to move because all of the trades now favor me. And yeah, okay, so of course he does not want to trade. We're gonna get our bishop over here. No, we still can't do that. Yeah, he's being very tricky here. He's being very tricky. Yeah, let's get rid of our pawn. Yeah, if the d file opens up, he might have some action here with his rook, but also I don't think it's anything relevant. And if he moves the knight, I can even play bishop c4. If h6, we can even play d6. Even that is possible. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy playing a piece up. What is this? Did he just blunder another piece? What is g4? Yeah, okay. Okay, so he does get access to g3 if something like that is played. But yeah, also should not be that big of an issue. Yeah, now it's time to go after the rook. Now it's time to go after the rook. He can't really go here, because then we have this. If he goes here, then we don't have to worry about the c4 pawn push. If he goes here, we can even go back bishop to c4. But he can capture here, so if he moves the rook to the b file, for example, we can then play bishop to c3, which sort of holds everything. And while the knight is very nice on g3, I don't think it's gonna be that useful. We can simply attack it, and if he goes here, then the knight defends that. So Yeah, I mean there are so many good moves here. It's hard to find that sweet spot one. All right, so he goes here. Now we're gonna put the bishop on c3, which means that now we can even move the knight. Yeah, we can even move the knight, as the bishop now guards the b2 pawn, and all of the trades here will now go in our favor. If he kicks away the knight, the e4 square is also very nice for our knight. Yeah, let's go here. Okay. We will have to play a little bit faster. Okay, so he attacks the knight. Nothing spectacular happening there. Let's just defend it for the moment. And now g4 is a threat, as the knight covers the g3 square. So, okay, he's still being very tricky. He's adamant about not resigning a piece down. I can respect that, as I very rarely do. So g4 is the threat. He has to figure out how to go about it. Probably he plays something like captures on e5, or yeah, moving the bishop doesn't really I mean, it makes sense. It just doesn't improve his position that much. Like d5, he hangs the c5 pawn. If he goes after my bishop, I can simply move the bishop, nothing to it. Like even d3 will be fine, controlling this diagonal. So once we avoid all of the tactics that he might have in store for us, we're just gonna enjoy our position being a piece up. Okay, so not easy to find a useful move for him here. He will probably figure something out, but yeah, tackling g4 is definitely the way to go. Okay, so f5, that's how he will do it. And we will react to that by capturing. Simple as that. Now the f5 square has been freed for his knight, and we can just go for trades. Captures, and now if we trade, then yeah, we do sort of weaken our b pawn, but yeah, that's fine. Our b pawn gets a little bit weak. Nothing to it. We'll just play b3, and everything is nicely defended. So now we just have to figure out how to make the most use of our extra piece. Probably remaneuver it somewhere. Yeah, like maybe knight c4 to e3, then bishop c4 check, followed by knight to d5. Yeah, d5 would be an excellent square for this knight. And okay, he does have some compensation for the piece. He's up a pawn, but 1 pawn for the piece isn't very impressive. Okay, so he goes for he goes after the pawn. We're just gonna defend it, and any g5 or e5 ideas are not really a worry for us, because we can just trade. Everything is nicely defended. So now we go for this maneuver. d5 is still not an option because this hangs. Actually have no idea what he could even try here. I have no idea what he could even try. He'll probably slow play it with something like h5 or king to g7, which is what I would do, you know, just to wait for your opponent to make a silly mistake, as there are no... yeah, oh, he goes for g5. That is absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's not... That's... Okay, so he goes for that. We're going to trade. All the trades work in our favor. And now if he tries to avoid the trade, we can just... oh no, we can't win the rook right away. Because... yeah, okay. So we're gonna go knight f3. We're gonna threaten the pawn here. Yeah, we do have to be a little bit careful, since rook e2 might be an issue for us, but yeah, okay, so he defends he defends well here. Um, let's just go after, no, not like that, obviously. Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good move. This is actually a pretty good move. Yeah, I will have to self-pin myself just for a brief moment here. Not for long, just for a brief moment. Since I can't go for any tricks here with this, I have to play g4 and king to g3, and then we're okay. Let's go g4. He puts his king on a dark square, which is very nice. Yeah, I'm sort of getting the feeling that, yeah, he definitely got a lot more out of the position than I should have allowed. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, we have to play like this, and we have to bring our bishop to e2, in order to be able to remove the king from the defense of the knight. And then we can get our pieces back into the game. Yeah, he actually played this very nicely. He actually played this very nicely. His bishop is really good there. Yeah, I sort of thought it would be easier that he would not put so much resistance, but he did. Yeah, now we can unpin here. Yeah, but still it's very hard to unpin. Yeah, we can do it like this. Rook e2, rook e2. I allow him to capture here, but no, that would be silly. Yeah, this would be... Yeah, we have to play king g3 first. Have to play king g3 first. Now the threat is rook e2. Since he will not be able to capture the knight, we will just trade here. Okay. But if he moves the king, yeah, it does become a bit odd for us. We're gonna have to play something like this to be able to unpin. Yeah, he's posing a lot of problems for us, but yeah, we will solve them. It just takes time. Okay, so he goes here. Does this allow us to go for some tactics? I think it does. Yeah, he goes here. And now we can simply trade down. We can trade down fairly easily here. Since the knight is no longer attacked, and now we're just up a clean piece, we're gonna play h4 and win the game. Yeah, okay, so it took some work, but we got there. Never Drawn lives up to his name. Or maybe he still draws this. You never know. Yeah, okay, he has to trade. He goes after my bishop. We're just gonna move it anywhere. Doesn't really matter where. No, anywhere but there, obviously. Wow. Wow, genius. Genius. All right, so we still have to push our pawn. Yeah, let's go here. Wow, this was not the best. Yeah, okay, now he just yeah, now he just outplayed me. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. Okay. We're still winning this, but what a what perseverance by him. I mean, absolutely incredible. So again, not the best execution, but he really put up a lot of resistance there. So let's see just what we could have done better. All right, so yeah. So the immediate e5, obviously the way to go here, but as he's playing this line, I'm sure he knows how to counter this. But yeah, if you want to play it, yeah, when your opponent does something like this, you should play it. So let's see what happens here. Okay, bishop g4. Okay, this is all perfectly fine, fine. Yeah, he blundered a piece there, and yeah, you see how whenever I say you shouldn't resign after you blunder a piece in the beginning like that, it still requires a lot of precision. So we actually played this okay, nothing wrong with any of our moves. Yeah, captures, yeah, it's perfectly fine. And then where did we allow him all of this counterplay? That's the question. Okay, b4 here, yeah. So silly of me not to consider b4. I basically advocate for it in every game. Yeah, okay, so perfectly fine. Okay, so knight to f3 allowed him unnecessary counterplay. Yeah, because he can't really go for a rook lift with bishop guarding e2. Rook f5 was the way to go. Yeah, with this knight to f3, it's basically nearing drawish territory. It's still winning for white, but you have to play a lot of precise moves like g4. Okay, I play rook f2. King here, yeah, king here. So yeah, king h2, but yeah, now I'm of course completely winning, and it's not an issue. I played an entire game okay, wasn't the problem, but here you see such a a poor brain moment where he got a completely winning position, but then he just allowed this bishop to c4 move, which I played, and then he even yeah, went into this, and he disregarded that the bishop guards the queen. He could have continued checking me and probably even maybe outplay me on time. As like I said, I don't really play all that fast when I'm recording these rapid games. But yeah. Again, not the point of these videos. The point is to give you an insight in what to do in the opening, in the middle game, especially when you encounter a position you don't know. And when I'm playing, I'm most of the times encounter a position I don't know, since I'm not really an expert in opening theory. But yeah, once things get really messy and you have to figure out how to go about it with little time on the clock, that's where you're on your own and you will have to outplay your opponents. Of course, try to do it much better than I do. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Another tricky one, but even though with our poor play, we're actually doing okay. I think. Let me just check. I think. Yeah, last game. Okay, we drew, but sorry about that. Let me just check here. Yeah, we were able to. Okay, we got a win in this one, draw in the previous one. Sorry. Yeah, a win in this one, draw in the previous one, then a win, and then a loss. Okay, out of the last 4 games, 3 wins in the draw. Not that bad regarding what weird stuff we are pulling, but yeah, seems to be working. So yeah, I will try to focus more, but it's just not easy, trying to give out your thought process while calculating. I don't know. It's probably the two sides of the brain colliding. The one that uses words and the one that uses calculating power. I have no idea. Like even in bullet, I don't play such silly moves like I did with bishop to bishop to g1. Here is really a terrible move. But yeah, I hope you're getting something out of these videos, and yeah. If you want to see something else, some other openings, do use hashtag suggestion, and I will try to deliver it at some point. So yeah, once again, hope you enjoyed it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing with the coverage of everything that's happening in the chess world, and of course, checking up on your wonderful suggestions. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.